which is these circles. Right there to get started. Starting high today. Since we have a gallery space, I'm actually thinking about a whole installation of just these colored polka dots. Which are kind of like consciousness bubbles, is the way I look at them as well.
You know, aside from Paradise Gardens, I think this is the coolest place we've ever burned together.
Yeah, this place is pretty sweet. I've always wanted to hang out up here on this spot. I've lived in the shadows of this building for over 30 years now.
It is, what, 14 stories tall?
Yes. It was the largest refrigerated warehouse in the Southeast in 1921 when it opened.
This is such a cool medium for art, and I admire you for being so good at it. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Skittles.
Skittles.
That is a brave FedEx driver right there. It's a beautiful day here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, perfect.
Not really a cloud in the small, just a few wispies now. In 70s, slight breeze.
Fantastic.
Feels like we're actually up here on a stage.
Elevated from the world.
It's a lot of, I know we have airplanes, but it's a lot quieter here than on Broadway.
It's like we're in the country. No, I just made circles like this the other day. This is a medium-sized piece of these. I'll get myself together for a gallery show at the shop.
It's gonna look so awesome.
I'm gonna try to fill the whole shop up with just walls full of these guys. I think it's gonna be pretty
He
cool.
paints them when he's finished, and they're so fun and colorful. Man, if that was me, I would plant like half of that area over there with just zinnias.
Yeah.
That saves so much on tools. Ha! Once you get a nice collection of lenses, yes, they can get a little expensive. And welding glasses, but those aren't too bad.
Welding glasses is the most important tool of all. Without them, you really can't draw. You can try, but you will probably go blind sooner than later that way.
But yeah, you don't need electricity.
Pure solar power.
Well, thank you for the donut. I can't see it. It's so bright out here. Is that Rocco Torres? Thanks for the donut.
Right there looks like a sad clown almost.
Aw, lay it down a certain way and just run. Hope it comes out what you wanted. Oh, he's made, check out solarcombustion.art. He's made all kinds of trees, animals, geometric shapes, one-line pieces. Really fun, you know, like cats with tambourines.
For your safety, this parking lot is being recorded.
We're being recorded, y'all, for our safety.
Oh, posterity.
Any type of wood. This is just some regular old plywood. He's burned on furniture. You know what? He had gloves on earlier today. He forgot to bring them for this little round. But that is why he wears a hoodie, is to keep the sun off. And he wets it down so he's cool. Here's a tree he did earlier today. It's called a fresnel lens, spelled fresnel, but it was a French guy, so it's pronounced fresnel.
Oh,
You all right? Oh, did that just fly in your glasses?
yeah, he landed in between them. It was a bee.
So impressive. Thanks.
I think that was a bee that just got in my bonnet.
But anyway, it's made out of like a polyacrylic. So it's like 1.5 pounds. Oh, there goes a tree.
Down it goes. I'll get it later.
Thanks for the roses. You know what? He has made some roses in the past. Amazing work. The tree is gorgeous. Thank you so much. He's made a bunch of sunflowers. He's made a monstera plant that I really love and some hanging baskets.
Really into these circles right now.
But yeah, check out solarcombustion.art. And, you get to see a little bit. We got to put some more pieces on there. We sold a little kitty cat today. is the first time burning at this location.
Dying to burn here forever.
If that touched you, like if I put my hand there for some unknown reason, I would instantaneously get 3rd-degree burns and I would immediately have regrets. The lens actually does not get hot. The light is able to pass through it, so there's no resistance to the heat.
So what we experience as heat is really just the resistance of the energy trying to pass through.
Neat. Thanks. And that focal point is about 2,000 degrees, but only that focal point gets hot enough to burn. The rest of the wood is not hot enough. That's how it doesn't, like the whole thing does not go up in flames. If you aim it in water, it would heat the water up.
Yeah. You would get instantaneous micro boiling, but without
Thank
pressure, water doesn't really want to boil that easily. So you'd have to put a rock in the water, and if you could put a glass lid on top of the boiling water to catch the pressure as the water boiled, started to boil, you could boil water. The easiest way to boil water with one of these though is to just heat rocks up and continue to drop hot rocks into the water.
So unique and impressive. I love art created in creative ways.
That was my discovery of how to use this best for heating water. It's easier to just heat a rock up and drop the rock in there.
He's melted some cheese on some burgers. That was fun.
It was. Being on a sandwich for a kid.
Meant to stop by. Life happened. Did you sell the one I loved? Which one was that one? Was that earlier today? Was it the tree that he's picking up right now? If it's a tree he did earlier, we still have it. He's got to clear coat it.
Burn a frame around it.
He's going to burn the frame around it.
Well, move it out of the way so I don't accidentally ruin it. Next time I come over here, I'll bring an easel so I can put some pieces up around me.
This is so talented. And if you do happen to stop by the Sun Shop and we've stepped out for a moment, my number's on the door. We literally live 2 blocks away and can be there lickety-split.
Yeah, right now we're only 3 blocks away.
Skills, thank you. What is that called and where do I get one? If you're talking about the art, solarcombustion.art. If you're talking about the lens, it's a Fresnel lens and you just kind of have to research solar concentrators or Fresnel lenses.
And if you need the welding glasses that you're going to need to make art with this, you can reach out to us on our website and we'll be selling welding glasses as well.
But yeah, you can't buy a lens without buying welding glasses or you will make yourself go blind. So please don't do that.
I strongly recommend. I wore 3 pairs of sunglasses when I first started, and that was not enough. I still came in with a giant blue dot over top of everything, and the whole sky was magenta everywhere that I looked once I took the glasses off.
How much for the tree? If you're local, there's no shipping. We're asking $5, but
If you're local and you come talk to me in person,
there might be a little wiggle room.
online I like to try to sell them for $6, and that includes $500 for piece, $30 for taxes, and $70 for shipping and handling.
I love all the trees he has created. Thank you so much. Already home in Georgia. Oh, hey, we're going to Finsterfest. I don't know where at in Georgia you are, but we'll be in Somerville, Paradise Gardens, September 20th, that weekend.
Which is in northwest Georgia, over by Rome, Georgia.
That's one of the best art shows I've ever been to in my life. I'm so happy we were invited back.
Proud participant at Finster Fest and honored to be part of it.
I create tree sculptures with copper. Awesome.
Nice.
Those are pretty.
Those are pretty.
Yes. Plywood. Southside, Jonesboro. Huh. So it's probably not super close, but it's still worth the drive, I think. Regardless, though, we can talk. We can, talk about shipping and all that. We love getting people who love art some art. Thank you for the rose. And like I said, that is 1/3 of a sheet of plywood. That's a big tree. We do have smaller ones as well. Although the big ones are pretty cool. Thank you for the lightning. So cool.
I know they cost at least $70 to ship.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Got lots of lightning bolts. These pieces are so fun when they're painted all different bright colors. Oh, sorry. Dip my umbrella in there. Hanging out in Louisville, Kentucky at a new spot. A brewery is going to be opening here. What is it, next weekend?
Maybe next weekend, yeah. No, next Wednesday is Friends and Family Night, so I think we're getting really close.
How hot does that get? This one has about a 2,000 degree focal point. That big lens that you have, how hot does that one get?
It gets to be about 2,000 degrees, but it's a 1/2 inch focal dot.
Ah, I see.
The biggest one I have, it probably gets to be about 2,200 to 2,400 degrees. And it has a 3/4 inch focal dot that's that hot. So it's ridiculous.
So therapeutic. It is. I zone out a lot. Mesmerizing. It is. Fire as fuck. It sure is. No, the lens doesn't get hot. And more than anything, his thumbs get the most tired from really controlling the lens, especially when it's windy, but thankfully it's not too windy today.
I lose focus of what I'm doing. I wind up squeezing the lens really hard.
I've never seen this done with such a big piece of glass. I assume only small. So cool. Thanks. He does have smaller ones that he uses for finer lines and signing purposes, but he just has a lot more fun with the bigger ones. They just burn a lot faster.
Yeah, I'd still be on like just a handful of these circles if I was doing it with this guy.
It wouldn't be as fun to watch live either.
Exactly. I'd have to record it and I'd have to speed it up.
So cool. Thanks. We love sharing this with everybody. Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah. So yeah, you can use smaller lenses. They will totally burn, but it just takes a little bit longer.
And if you're into like photorealism and stuff and you want to draw your pictures out and things of that nature first, they burn a lot faster once the smaller lenses work pretty good on the graphite. You know, it really does. Once you've darkened the wood up a little bit, it really works a little faster. But I live in a moment of spontaneity. That's why I call it solar combustion art. I live in this spontaneous combustion moment.
Now that we're up here, I really want to explore this place. Yes, actually, funny you should mention it. Have y'all tried melting cheese? A few times. Totally works.
With fantastic results.
We were at a...
Melting cheese, you don't focus it all the way to the burning point. You pull up a little short.
That's pure talent. Absolutely love this. Thank you so much. This would be considered as a survival tool. Yes. As long as there's sun. We watched A Naked and Afraid once years ago where someone brought a little lens, but wherever they were it was super rainy and cloudy and didn't do them much good.
And then there's that one that brought it and thought she was going to purify water with it and stuff, and it was like, it doesn't really work like people think it works.
This is cool. First time I've seen art like this. Awesome. So cool. Nice work. Thanks for stopping in.
I'm not the only one, but
yes.
I am me. I'm the only me.
The burning wood does smell good if you like that kind of thing. Most people that do this draw it out first. He's kind of a folk artist version and just kind of goes for it.
If you draw it out first, it's better to use a smaller lens so you can really hit your marks more. Get really detailed pieces with the right magnifying lenses. I got Facebook friends that that's what they thrive on, is that. Get yourself a nice close 20D.
This parking lot is being recorded.
Any of the other 20D lenses and you'll be set.
No, actually, we're not too far from Tennessee. We're in Louisville, Kentucky.
3 hours. 3 hours from Nashville.
We did some hiking in Tennessee a few years ago. It's beautiful. Roan Mountain area.
Roan Highlands. One of my favorite parts of the earth.
Zoning out again. Whew. Have you accidentally caught your art on fire and ruined anything? The closest thing he's come to really doing that is he set his jeans on fire once. A little bit.
Some gourds in the past. Gourds have a tendency to stay burning and you don't realize they're burning.
But the wood, not so much, because you're only heating up like a very, very small piece of it at a time.
I've tried to do gourds in the past. You don't realize that you set it on fire and you're just turning the gourd. Next thing you know, your finger hits something that's like still on fire.
Yikes, exactly.
And it's very heartbreaking because you get pretty far into something like a gourd and then you burn it and ruin it. Kind of like, it's ruined too. It's not like, there's no getting it back.
If you like the smell of burning wood, which luckily I do, then yes, it smells good. Especially when you burn something like maple or pine or cedar.
Fortunately, they're paving a street around here somewhere, and all I can smell is asphalt right now.
Yeah, me too. What made you think of this idea?
I was collecting lenses in 2008. In 2010, I had a reality check moment that made me think that this is what I was supposed to do with my life afterwards, was make art with the sun and magnifying lenses.
This is so cool. Thanks. Short answer is divine intervention. This is so awesome. Thanks. You burn gourds too? Down the rabbit hole I go. Be right back. Have fun.
Have fun. Happy traipsing.
He burns on bricks too.
There's some big giant pieces of terracotta over here that used to be a chimney. I'm going to investigate later.
It must be hot as hell. That's like 2,000 degrees. It's actually a very pleasant 70 something here in Louisville today. Y'all seem so sweet. Aw, I like to think so.
Outdoor temperature has nothing to do with the temperature of the focal point.
Yeah, he can burn in the wintertime. There's just less daylight hours to do so.
Yeah. And the wood is a little bit colder to start with. So like right now the wood's already probably 105 degrees, where in the winter it would be, you know, say it was 20 degrees outside, the wood might be 30 degrees sitting out in the bright
You're
sunlight.
blinding me.
That bug try to get in your eye?
No, the sun was reflecting off your lens right in my face. Also, with the welding glasses, the other safety part of this is you have to store the lenses safely when you're not using them. You can't just leave them propped up against something outside, because they might be in the shade 1 hour and the next hour they're not.
The sun is always on the move.
So,
Or the earth is always turning, however you want to look at it.
you've done this piece in about half an hour so far, I think. So,
Spring measure real quick.
closer here.
I'm going to do a short session out here today because neither one of us had the foresight to bring water. I thought about it, but I didn't follow through on the gathering of water.
We kind of left the house all abruptly because we just wanted to get here and try it out. It's the first time burning here.
Hopefully it'll be a very consistent thing in the near future. I like to promote the Trellis Brewing Company over here at the historic Fears building property.
He just puts his in a box, pretty much.
Stash them in some cardboard.
Yeah.
They do get brittle over time, so you kind of got to start to baby them over time. You know, like after a while, if you barely bump it on anything, it'll just split it. It's kind of crazy how brittle they get after being in the sun for a year or two. I used to have another one of these that's completely cracked in half right now, from where I just barely bumped it into something, and then I put a little pressure on it by accident, broke it the rest of the way.
I swear this was just circles like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, it doesn't take long. When the sun's out really good like this.
You kind of already have a vision of where you want to go. It's sort of like a road trip. If you've done the same road trip a dozen times, when you get a little closer to home, it doesn't seem like it takes as long as it used to. That first time always takes longer. If you travel the same path a dozen times, though, it's like, oh, this is no big deal. So right where I'm at, we'll be there before we know it. I think this will be my third trip to Summerville, Georgia this year, and it's like it'll probably just blow right by this year. Oh, we're in Nashville. We're on the other side of Nashville. Oh, we're in Alabama for a minute. Oh, we're there.
No, he's never had like a whole piece catch on fire. If he left it burning in one spot, he could burn a hole through it, but the whole piece of wood is not that hot. That's why it doesn't go up in flames. Oh, there comes the falcon. There's some peregrine falcons that roost on top of this 14-story old brick building behind us here. We've had a lot of fun watching them. Thank you. We love you back. Thanks for the finger hearts. He does do a little bit of shading sometimes. He can use like the smoke tails, or he'll just kind of Bob Ross style, like smudge it in. They are loud. Can you hear them?
This one's going to get paint. We'll use about a dozen different colors of bingo ink to...
I don't know if you can see them or not, but the falcons are cool. He'll tell you he's not a very good like portraiture type style artist, but he does do animals and people.
But even then, I'm not a very good photorealist type person. I'm not a tattoo artist, great artist.
So he can make a cat maybe that kind of resembles your cat, but it probably won't look exactly like your cat.
I'm getting ready to maybe broaden my horizons with the projector here soon, and
do a little experimentation.
maybe I'll say yes to some things I normally wouldn't say yes, and I might not be as happy about it, but
That's
I
cool
do have
regardless.
a gallery space.
Thanks.
I do need to pay bills, and therefore...
Does the width of the glass change how much the wood burns?
Yes. So like this lens here is 18 inches, so I'm catching 18 inches of light, which is, that's a lot. That's a big piece of light. And I'm concentrating that down to a 1/4 inch dot. If I was using a 12 inch lens or my 15 inch lens, I'd have a little bit smaller dot, and it wouldn't be quite as hot. Like say maybe the difference between lenses. This is a 15 inch lens. Its focal dot is about 1/8 of an inch. And it's probably only about 1800 degrees, 1600 to 1800 degrees. And this one's a 1/4 inch and it's about 2000 degrees. And that all kind of adds up over time for the... I'll get the smaller one out to touch up some of these circles and maybe draw a few slightly smaller circles to give it more depth. I might leave that all alone and just do just use the color.
Oh, in 2008, he was really obsessed with solar experiments and collecting lenses and mirrors and doing various projects with them. And then 2 years later, in 2010, he essentially had a near-death experience after an epic night of drinking and blacking out and waking up with calamity that had ensued overnight, and felt like he was called to make art with the sun. That's the short version.
It gets longer and even more eccentric if you really get to know me.
So he's been doing this for 14 years now. Hasn't had anything to drink in 14 years. The biggest piece...
Just water.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I just it's silly.
You smart
I
aleck.
do drink fluids still.
Have you done anything bigger than a whole sheet of plywood?
No, I haven't. In order to do that, I'd have to seam multiple pieces of plywood together. So my canvas, the biggest canvas I can purchase is a full sheet of plywood. So I think about it sometimes.
I want to see how it comes out. Oh, when he paints it, I'll have to post a picture of it. It's gonna look so good. He's done a small one, and he's done a much bigger one that's painted.
This is the medium one. I'm trying to hit all the price points, and I'm also trying to get myself together for a gallery show where all these little lines all start to bleed together and blend together, and all the circles will blend together, and the whole room will just be filled with these bubbles.
The falcon has his 2 cents.
Yeah, he does.
What was the other one? Arm's gotta be sore. He takes a little shake break sometimes, but he's been doing this a long time, so he's got good stamina. He did a lot of martial arts over the years and hiking and physical endurance type stuff. Kind of like his meditation. It's so satisfying. Thank you. How long did the tree take? The one right over here that he did earlier today?
Hour and 2 minutes, I think.
A little over an hour, but he still has to burn the frame edges and clear coat it and, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's got another hour of time in it, probably at least.
Oh, it would burn you so bad, like instantaneous 3rd degree burns.
It's burning this wood.
So we don't recommend that.
It'd be like dipping your finger in a puddle of molten glass.
This is really cool and creative. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, everybody.
We are over here on the platform next to Trellis Brewing Company.
Yeah, I'll show you. It's right over there.
Friends and family nights next Wednesday, I think, or maybe even this Wednesday. It's Wednesday sometime.
Eventually, all of these old buildings are going to be something.
I'm kind of excited about it. I've lived in the shadow of these old buildings for a long time now. Lived in this neighborhood for 30 years now.
Never seen art made in this manner, making use of our environment. Oh, he's pretty well covered up. He had gloves on earlier. He forgot to grab them this time.
Yeah, it's starting to be that time of year where I really start thinking about my sun exposures. I get 6 hours a day sometimes, and that's just a lot of that's a lot to ask for my low melanin skin.
Oh, it's no worries. Sorry if you already answered this, but how did he get into this? Started collecting lenses in 2008, 2010, had a near-death experience, woke up, started making art with the sun. He's been doing this for 14 years. Never seen anything like it, so cool. Oh, do you make your own lenses? He wishes.
For your safety, this
We do
parking
not.
lot is being recorded.
To make this lens is kind of like you have to be able to etch metal, like engrave into metal, and then you have to have like the proper materials to heat roll that metal. You know, heat roll this PMMA material.
But they can be hard to find these days. He should make the sun while using the sun. He has actually lots of them.
Suns.
These are amazing. Thanks. Check out solarcombustion.art. Is that Eclipse piece on there?
Might be, might not be.
I don't remember. Wow, so good. Thank you. But
This
yeah.
one's gonna be really good once it's colored.
I think there's one still on the website. It's almost like a self-portrait. It's a guy, like the sun man, standing on the earth in space.
Reaching for the stars.
Yeah, I like that one.
Which is also kind of my view on how the sun actually works and lights us up. Is it gathers energy from all the other stars and then broadcasts that energy down to us here on the earth. The earth.
The earth. And this place is conveniently located. Just, is it even a minute walk from our house? Maybe.
It's a little loud right now, but it's a lot quieter than Broadway is.
Yeah, it's just a nice day, so everybody's doing all their yard work today.
The foot traffic isn't as scary.
Don't have to be as on guard here.
I love everybody, but sometimes, I had a guy all of a sudden creep up. I didn't know what he was doing.
We are in Louisville, Kentucky.
Made me real nervous for a second.
Thanks for the rose. Genuinely curious, could this start his clothes on fire? Oh yeah, he accidentally set his jeans on fire once, not paying attention.
The loose tassels on my blue jeans caught fire.
Dang right, you gotta be careful in Louisville. I used to live in Fort Knox. Yeah, oof. You should move down to Laredo, Texas. You'll have a free lifetime subscription to Burning Sun.
Nice.
We've had a few Texans recommend we come by there. Who knows, we just might next year. Next year might be our traveling year. Love the art, by the way. It's great. Thank you. I live in New Mexico now. Sweet. I had a friend years ago who lived in Taos, I think. This piece he's been working on for about 45 minutes.
I said this one I want to color, so I got probably another hour of coloring it. I use Bingo Dabbers to do all of my coloring.
I'd say on average a couple hours. Obviously, like bigger, more detailed pieces take a little longer.
We'll bring it over here on this side of the wood. Do it like this.
Do it like that. Do it with ball bat. So. Oh, these would look so cool made into a coffee table.
Yeah, they would.
You are so right. He's made lots of coffee tables. Some of them are at our house because they were just too cool. I just couldn't let them go.
One of them was a big kitchen table that I turned into a coffee table because we had so much stuff on our coffee table that we thought we needed a super coffee table.
We currently have some TV trays at the shop. One set has circles on it, one set has triangles on it that are really cool. Love those. Oh my gosh. So many Tree of Life ones. This one he did today. I gotta watch Walking Barefoot up here. But if you check out solarcombustion.art, there's a lot of trees. We got a lot of trees.
If you check it out in 3 days from now, there'll be even more trees and even more things on there.
I was just gonna say you would make some coffee tables for yourself. I definitely would. Oh yeah, we're currently redoing our back room and we have all these fantasies of just making everything like with art.
Yeah. Instead of drywall, just getting plywood and making patterns that I want
Like
to make.
one whole sheet of plywood of our bathroom wall. He spent hours and hours and hours doing all these rings and dots. It's pretty cool. Like, our house doesn't have to look like a normal house. Like, we're both artist people. We do have an online shop. It's in our TikTok bio, solarcombustion.art. We would love for you to take a look at it. Now that's amazing. Oh, he's totally gonna color this one. These are super fun color. In fact, if you look, there should be a video recently of a piece that he colored. If not, I'll have to put one on there. But yeah, they're just so fun and bright.
Yeah, I use a dozen different Bingo ink colors to red and ruby red and violet and blue and magenta and pink and purple. And, oh, it's just...
Oh, I see the big falcon has two of the little ones flying around. I think those falcons are some of the noisiest birds I've ever heard.
Especially right now because they're training juveniles.
Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Crystal.
Love you back.
I need to get me a piece of wood for all of the namesake people that need to be named.
I know, we used to burn in the backyard and he would burn on the fence.
I put everybody's initials on the fence. It was a lot of fun. I felt like it really helped build community on the live.
Thank you for the gummy bear, or whatever they call it on this thing. A high bear. H-I, not H-I-G-H. I was joking, like change the color of the light. Ah, I see. But no, he does paint these, and they're a lot of fun. Thank you for the roses.
Yeah, I was explaining to somebody the other day though. It's like wood doesn't burn in color. No matter what color the wood is, when you burn it, it's still just going to be black charcoal afterwards.
Yeah, and he does clear coat them all because, like, if you touched it right now, you would get really ashy.
Not like the type of ashy where you need lotion, but other than ashes.
Has he tried with a crystal ball? No.
The focal point's really too close with the crystal ball.
Oh, I guess you have maybe.
The focal point is almost like right on the ball, right on the surface of the wood itself when you use a crystal ball.
Thanks again for the roses. That's beautiful.
And
thank you
glass
so
beer in
much.
the house, in other words. I acquired that one from the same person that I acquired the 15-inch lens from.
You can see the flame really good from this angle. Smells good. He uses bingo daubers to paint when he's done, and then he clear coats them. And like a full sheet of plywood, if that's what you mean, you know, would probably take a few hours, anywhere from 5 to 10 hours.
Especially with all the coloring. It'll probably take $15 with a bingo ink. I might use all the whole daubers up on that one. I'm gonna do a full sheet of plywood at this point. I have a whole series of these.
I'm just sitting in my chair under an umbrella. I just need somebody to feed me grapes. These are so interesting. How much do they sell for? It just depends on the size.
This one right here will probably be listed online for $200.
And that includes shipping and handling and everything. We're in Louisville, Kentucky. Taxes. We make fun of the way I talk all the time because it's ridiculous, and it's just
almost as ridiculous as the way I talk.
it is what it is.
I was a backpacker by one of my trail names. My trail name is White Crow, but this one guy used to call me White Crow, the talking banjo. White Crow, the talking banjo. White Crow. We all come by it honestly because we're Louisvillians. Land of Dango speak. We'll sign this one real quick.
Hot water heater.
Yeah.
Cheese melter. So as you can see, the smaller lenses isn't quite as exciting, but that's what he uses to sign everything.
You can make some really intricate art with these, if that's your thing. If you draw your pictures out first, it burns a little quicker. The bright wood does. If you cover the wood with ashes, the ashes help it burn a little faster even. But it leaves a little residue on the wood afterwards, so some people don't like that. That's a little dog barking at first.
Oh, the symphony of the sounds of the neighborhood. I know who to get stuck in the woods with now.
Yeah.
That's
Got a lot of
right.
woodland skills.
That's right, he does.
Mostly is this awesome walking technique.
Is that it?
I think that's going to be it for now. Well, hold on a second. I want to do one more thing. I'm going to show kind of how. So I'm taking, I'll smudge this all in. All Bob Ross style. Start getting some separation. Start pulling it together here a little bit.
Seriously though, if he were to get stuck in the woods, he'd be a good person because he did the Appalachian Trail twice and some other trails.
Then just spent a lot of time out in the mountains trying to find mountains I was allowed to sleep on top of. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to sleep on top of Mount Mitchell. I was very heartbroken about that. I wanted to sleep on that mountain properly. But you're not allowed to. They won't let you sleep on top of the mountain. It's got a parking lot on top of it, so.
Aw.
And a visitor center where you can get a latte up on top of the tallest mountain east of the Mississippi. It's kind of sad to me, but oh well, not about me. Mount Washington in New Hampshire is the same way. You can get you a turkey sandwich on top of the mountain.
Yeah, exactly, not legally.
Get up to 6,200 and something feet and go get yourself a turkey sandwich. Like, man, oh man. Listen to cars and traffic and when you're through hiking, you can preload yourself a sandwich from somebody though, usually.
Well,
I just think the gray contrasted with the white really
zoom in a little
makes
bit.
it pop.
Oh man, it's really gonna pop once you paint that.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Till next time, I love y'all. Wish you the best. Safe travels out there, people.
Keep it sunny.